Hey, Simon from LakeHub here. Today, we're going to be talking about camping on Lewisville Lake here in Texas. Now, one of the reasons why I like Lewisville Lake is because it's central in the DFW Metroplex, so it's really easy to access. The spots that we like to camp, my family of five, they're all pretty close to home, 15 minutes, 20 minutes away. So it's really convenient for weekend camping and weekday camping, telecommuting. Sometimes we call it work camping. We like to work on the campsite. It's so close to home that we can shoot home if we forget something, some groceries or some medicine or something like that. There's plenty of stores, grocery stores, convenience stores, and we can even go to doctor's appointments or soccer practice or whatever we need to and come back to the campsite. So it's really easy for kids and for weekending. We have a pop-up camper. It's the smallest pop-up camper that they make, fits in our garage. It's perfect for our family. I have 3 kids under the age of 10. So that's why we like camping on Lake Lewisville. My favorite 3 campgrounds are on the west side, just because they're closer to where I live, but there are plenty of great campgrounds all across the city side and kind of the populated side of Lake Lewisville. The ones that I like to camp at are right here. Right here. So Pilot Knoll, Hickory Creek, and then Lake Park in Lewisville. So the reason why I like these 3, again, it's close to home. It's also a little more wooded and a little less busy on this side of the lake than it is right here in the middle. This is where all the boat traffic is, and this is where all the fun happens on the weekend. We like to kind of get away a little bit because we don't have a boat. Pilot Knoll is run by the city of Highland Village, and it has around 50 sites. So it does tend to book up on the weekends. It's a little harder to get into, and it's a fun little campground. It kind of goes along this point right here. Hickory Creek, I'll zoom in a little bit here. Hickory Creek has over 100 sites. It's really wide and spread out, and there's a wide variety of different types of places to camp, different styles of camping spots for all different size rigs. And it has boat ramp, and there's a boat ramp right across the inlet here, and a lot of spots to pull your boat up on the shore and leave it, close to your camper, or even to trailer it and leave it in your camp spot. Whereas Pilot Knoll is a little bit of a tighter space. Lake Park is a really wide open, popular area for day use. For kayaking, you can reach the dam and you can fish the dam from a kayak. It's a nice little paddle. I've done that before. There's a lot of shoreline at Lake Park, and the camping, it's less of a kind of woodsy experience. It's a little more kind of a city camping vibe to it, but there's a lot there, and there's always a lot of activity. Kids have fun there too. As far as booking, so because they're run by 3 different entities, Pilot Knoll is run by the city of Highland Village, Hickory Creek is run by the Army Corps of Engineers, and Lake Park is run by the city of Lewisville. So you book through 3 different websites. You can find those all on LewisvilleLakeTexas.com. This is the map that I'm looking at right now. You can go into each camping listing right here, more info, and you can actually find exactly where to book from there. Camping is almost always going to run you about 25 to 40 bucks a night, depending on the amenities that you're getting, depending on the campground, and then depending on the amenities. Private campgrounds might be a little bit more, but you're never going to be over 50 bucks a night. I mean, hardly ever. So as far as amenities, usually what we're talking about are whether they have hookups or not. So you're either going to have a dry camp, which is just nothing. It's a dirt lot that you can pop a tent up on, pack your own water in and everything. Or the next level up is going to be just water. And then from there, you're going to have water and electricity. And the electricity, you have to kind of match your camper as far as the amperage goes. And then full hookups, which is water, electricity, and sewer. Obviously, you're going to pay more the more amenities that your campsite has. And the more hookups, that's going to be for the bigger rigs, the big RVs, motorhomes and such. So as far as picking a spot to camp, now, one of the things that we always look for, no matter what, because we live in Texas, is going to be shade. So we're always looking for the shadiest spot, trees on the south side of the camp spot, and so the kids can play and be comfortable all day long. We can hang out in the shade and have fun. As far as shoreline, when my kids were younger, we really didn't tend to get shoreline spots because we were kind of concerned about, them wandering into the water, couldn't swim, so forth. So we'd always go inland, and we'd always be very close to a bathroom and as close to a playground as we could. Now that our kids are getting a little bit older, they like fishing a little bit more. They can swim, so we feel safer about it. They understand safety, precautions and all that kind of stuff. So now we like shore spots a little more than we used to. We still try to get close to a bathroom because with kids under 10, you're going to wear out a path to the bathroom and back. We also, if we can, this is kind of a bonus feature when we're checking out camp spots, is to try to find a spot that has a little more privacy to it. You're kind of trying to get away, you're having a little vacation, and it's just kind of nice to not have to look at other people, just to be honest. No matter where you're camping, you're almost all, I know for certain, every spot at Pilot Knoll and Hickory Creek are going to have these features, and it's almost universal. No matter where you camp, you're going to have a picnic table or some kind of place to eat, and a fire ring. So you can have campfires and s'mores and all that. So as far as wood, you can pack in your own wood, but the safest thing to do as far as transferring pets and so forth is to just buy firewood on spot. So you can always do that. Every campground I've ever been in, there's a camp host who will sell you firewood. The camp host is a volunteer who lives in the campground and is basically there for customer service. So they can make change for you if you need change. They can answer any questions, help you out, and then they can sell you firewood. I generally spend about $5 to $10 a night on firewood. I'm not building a big raging fire or anything like that, but that kind of gives you an idea. And almost always it's cash. So bring some pocket change, buy your firewood on site. It's actually a lot easier that way too. You don't have to haul it in. It's just one less thing that you have to bring. Now, the rules vary from park to park. Some parks are a little more friendly with alcohol than others. For instance, alcohol is prohibited at Pilot Knoll. Hickory Creek, a little more friendly. So you just have to kind of know the rules before you go, depending on what you like to do when you're camping. We also have a dog, and our dog loves to go camping with us. What I've found is to use a long leash. So we use a 50-foot length of paracord. It's cheap. It's like $5 or $6, and it just tie it to a tree, tie it to a clasp on the other end, hook him up, and he can roam about our campsite and have fun. Generally speaking, pets on leashes and you're good to go. Bring your dog, have a good time. Things to do. So I mentioned the playground. Of course, there's the water, fishing, swimming, boating, right? Kayaking and things like that. Those are all things that we love to do. There's also hiking. You can bring bikes and mountain bikes, hiking trails, all kinds of things to do inland too. Now the hiking trails, the quality of the hiking trails and the scenery and all that are always really different from one park to the next. The best hiking trails out of these three, it's going to be Hickory Creek. They all have some kind of walking path or trail, but my favorite hiking trails are going to be in Hickory Creek. So there you go. There's my story on how to camp on Lake Lewisville, and hope you like it. If you need to know more information about Lake Lewisville in general, or actually where to find the booking sites for Lake Lewisville, go to LewisvilleLakeTexas.com.